Academy. So in this lecture we are looking at chapter 3 of this physics books, force and acceleration. So in this lecture we only talk about or understood two things. First one is the what actually meaning of force and its effect. These two questions we understood from this lecture. Okay. So this word force and acceleration, okay, big word, scare you, right? But I am sure by the end of this video you will see that physics is not just in a classroom. It's happening every time you kick a ball, push a door, or even sit in a chair. Let's break it down in simplest way possible. Okay. First, let's look at the basics. Okay. So basics. So before basic we study. So before we study, we ask you two questions, right? So first one, have you ever wondered why things move, right? Or another way, this is also important question, they stop moving. So these two questions comes into mind before you study. So okay, so you this understood answer of this question. We start, let's look at the basics. Okay, this is the question. So look, this is table. On this table I put a book, or it can be anything. So the position of the book not change with respect to time and okay, with respect to time and also surrounding. So my question is that when you say objects are in rest, when you say the position and location not change with respect to time and surrounding. Right. So then you can say objects are in rest. And when you say the motion, you know the position location will be changed. Motion, right? So that also you understood from this definition. Okay, motion means acceleration. But my question is that if my question is that what if it start moving? Okay, this is my question. And you think of like that, if a car speed up at a green light, right? So this also one question. So that means that time you can say the object are in motion or acceleration. That means something will change. So then you can say why the change in, then you can say another way, the you say that change that change is called acceleration, right? What? Acceleration. Okay. Most people think acceleration only means going faster. Most of the people think. But in science, it actually means any change. Any change. Now, question comes in your mind, what actually meaning of any change, right? So, any change means, let's say, if you speed up, that's also acceleration. If you hit the if you hit the brakes, if you hit right brake, if you hit brakes and slow down, that's also acceleration. And that means speed decreases, right? And another one is, if you turn a corner, but keep the same speed, that's also acceleration, because your direction change in this situation. So you always keep in mind, acceleration is just a fancy word changing how you move. How you move. Okay. So this is the things. So from this up to this we understood what actually means of acceleration and about rest and motion, and this is the things. Now, okay, so now another question comes here, how do we get how do we get something to accelerate? Something to accelerate, or also you can say, how do we make a resting object move. So we need, I think we need cause, and that cause is known as force. So this is the things, right? Okay, this is the force. So this is the something, acha, the same, okay. Okay, so this is the, we understood from there. Acha, object move, I mean I write in here, object okay, I mean object move, okay, resting object move, and this is due to cause, right, cause, and this cause known as force. So we understood what actually meaning of force. So you define force like that way. Force is that cause, which produce acceleration in the body on which it act. Right? So this is the force. So this is the things. So this is the force, and we all know force is vector quantity. And you know vector quantity means that have magnitude and also direction. So this is the things, this is known as force. Okay, now so this is the, so first we understood what actually acceleration means, and now we understood what actually means force. Okay, all right. Now we see the effect of force. This is the two question. Before starting this lecture, we already tell about. Okay, talking about this. Okay, so effect of force, I mean we see force of suppose we see force or single force or set of force acting on an object or body, okay, can do three things. I mean, what can do? First one, a force or set of forces can change the speed of the ball. speed of the body means speed can be increased, can be decreased. Okay, that means speed increase or decrease, like that. Speed up in this situation and slow down in this situation. Okay, so this is the one thing. And another one the force can do, that means a force or set of forces can change the direction of motion of a body, like that. In this situation, change in direction. And last one, a set of force, a force or set of forces can change the shape of a body. Okay, so like I show you another example. I think this is the thing, squeezing. Okay, that way change shape of the object, right? So this is the three things force can do. So this is the things force can do. So now what we learned this lecture, we learned three things. What was three things we learned? What we learned? First one, we learned what is the meaning of force. Okay, so to repeat it all up, okay, first we learn acceleration, right? So I think you understood what is actual meaning of acceleration. Acceleration means from is any change in speed or direction. Then we learn about force. Force means, in short, you can say is the push or pull makes that pull that makes that change happen. So without force, the world would just stay still. Okay. So physics is just the study of these simple rules. Okay. If you found this easy to understand, hit that like button. It helps me know